Hello everyone and welcome to my video. Another nice day in the War Within. Today I want to present you my Windwalker guide. Before we're going to start, I just want to say a few things about my person. I think it's a bit more important on this video than it is important on a normal Dawnbreaker plus 17 video, because on a guide video you should at least know about the person, who he is and what he's doing. So I'm Doom, and I am playing since I think Dragonflight, mostly Windwalker. Not that long, you can say, but yeah, I did really prove myself a lot in mplus and also in raids. I'm doing a lot of cutting edge. At the moment, you see on the right edge on the corner, I am on nearly 3.5 KIO on mplus, and we are 5 out of 8 mythic, but we are just, or at least me, just slacking on that one because I had a lot of vacations with my wife, so I wasn't available for a longer time, and we are now progressing dimensions, so we are still at the end boss, and I think in maybe 1 or 2 weeks we should be able to kill that boss as well. Okay, enough talking about myself. Today I want to present you a Windwalker guide about Mythic Plus as in raids, with tips and tricks, how you can improve your gameplay and what's important about the gameplay by Shadowpawn, because we will just talk about Shadowpawn because the only thing where you're really playing the managers. You see it here as well. I have a bit more on my talent trees. I did save, but the only thing where I really play conduit right now is the Mantius on mythic, because on this boss the Mantius conduit is really strong, because you have more breaks with the flying situations and you have more rats at the start of the boss, and conduit has the biggest, one of the biggest damage that is just being meant by big blasting AoE situations where you just need a lot of damage in a short time, and there is the conduit a lot better than Shadowpawn is, but yeah, it just really that just matter for Dementius, so nothing else. Rest of it is purely Shadowpawn on all bosses and in plus as well. I will show you later a statistic how much people are playing the conduit and how many people are playing Shadowpawn in, for example, raids or as well in M+. Alright, so first about the talent trees. I already opened this. Big to mention, it's kind of straightforward. We are just not playing here detox. That means if you have a boss, for example, in a raid that has some disease or poison effects that has to be dispelled, you should definitely use detox. For now, we do not have any bosses where detox is relevant, so you can just yeah, we don't have to mention that in any common details. The rest of the build will keep it really simple. Is not that high to mention. Yeah, it's really just straightforward, the same build. We have here paralyzes that we do mostly not use in raids, so you just can encap one target. We have here just a normal rising sun kick. Normal talent tree being used. We have here our kick. We have here the tiger's lust to make us faster. We have here the roll to just roll forward to be faster. We have here the cooldowns of roll being reduced. Then at least as well here the cooldown of paralyzes, and also of lag sweep if we have some stuns to do. Then normal improved touch of death, and so on. I will not go too deep in that one. The only two things that I'm gonna mention is fortifying brew in common detail, and here the better one, the expeditious fortification, and here diffuse magic, because those two are one of our major defensive that we need to survive the big DPS incomes So that's what we definitely going to skill and be going to use here. Ring of Peace as well, to just knock back enemies, to just make us safe in that area. Especially good for casters to have a safe area. If like anything is going through them or will go through them, you can just make sure this is not going to happen. Alright, on the other side here, it's the same, yeah, it's really just common straight, nothing that big to mention on this side as well. The only thing I definitely going to mention is the hit combo. That's what a lot of beginners, especially on Windwalkers, do forget, that the hit combo means if you're using, I will show Tiger Palm, you see you're gaining 1 stack here on the right upper side by Rising Sun Tick, for example. Hit combo is 1, then you're using Tiger Palm is 2, then Fists of Fury, for example, 3, and so on. That means if you're using different spells row by row, if like you can see it here, it's going to stack up, yeah, like for 30 seconds. Now we're on 4, so we have 4% flat, 4% more damage, and now we're going to 5, yeah? 5 is the maximum. So it means if you're pressing 5 spells, except Tiger Palm does not count at the start at least, you're gaining some hit combo, okay? That means make sure to never use any button twice, because if you do, you see Tiger Palm into Tiger Palm, our stacks are gone. So that's something a lot of people do not do forget, have never seen it. So it's really important to not lose your stacks. Yeah, if you are kind of uncommon with that, there are a lot of add-ons, or I think also weak overs, that will make sure to show you which button you pressed last, or you just can use the action tracker as well if it's not too much in your way. Yeah, you can of course move it away, you can move it along. I will also show you how to activate it if you need it. You just go here on details on the control panel, and then you're just going here on settings, and then you just scale down here to broadcaster tools, and you can here disable and enable the action tracker bar. Yeah, kinda simple. So this is the major track you should care about, and to not press button twice, that's the reason. So for next one, I will talk about the major tracks about stacks. Yeah, I'm using here not my own one. I'm using Luxtos. So I will the Luxtos coal bundle from the week aura is just tracking everything important I need to know. Yeah, you can use others. That's not the only one, but I really love Luxtos ones. It's kind of clean. It's not that completely overwhelmed with things you do not need. So I think this is one of the best week auras for just watching your stuff that's going to happen mid-while you are in a fight. Yeah, so we have here 3 things that are really important to be matched. So the 3 things are Crackling Yard Lightning, Fists of Fury stacks, and Whirling Dragon Punch. Why Whirling Dragon Punch? Yeah, it's right, it's not a stack, but you can just activate it. You see now, you cannot do it yet. Why can I do it yet? Yeah, easy. You see on the script on the right side now, it performs a devastation whirling upward strike, dealing 1 million damage to all nearby enemies, and additional blah blah blah, and so on. Only usable while both Fists of Fury and Rising Sun Kick are on cooldown. Yeah, Fists of Fury is this spell, and Rising Sun Kick is this spell. It means, if you see now, I'm using Fists of Fury on cooldown, then I'm using Rising Sun Kick on cooldown, then I can use my Whirling Dragon Punch. Okay, that's really important, because Whirling Dragon Punch, you see in meters, is now on 4th position on damage. Yeah, Rising Sun Kick, Tiger Palm, and here you see upside, Whirling Dragon Punch is a spell that does a lot of damage, especially in mplus. It's a little bit lesser, of course, on just 1 target, but in mplus it's really important to care about to keep that spell always on CD, so always to use Fists of Fury into Rising Sun Kick first to have Whirling Dragon Punch available to cast. Yeah. Then we have two more, as I mentioned before, Crackling Yard Lightning. You see, each time I'm pressing a spell again, except Tiger Palm, you see we're gaining one stack of Crackling Yard Lightning and also some stacks of Fists of Fury. You see it here and here on Luxtos Vigora. That's why I like this one the most. It's really simple, it's really easy, and it's straightforward to just track your stacks. Yeah, you should try to never overlap or to never have these stacks ongoing too long for no reason. So always, if you have like I think 7 to 10 stacks and Rising Sun Kick is available, Fist of Fury is available. You should always reuse Fists of Fury on cooldown, as well as Crackling Yard Lightning, at least with 17 to 20 stacks. Yeah, 20 stacks of course would be perfect, but there are things where you may use your Yard Lightning stacks earlier on, especially in the window while Storm Earth and Fire is active, because it makes more damage while those spell is still active as well, or of course your Cursed Stone Idol is also available, and you can use it. I mean your trinkets overall, yeah, not only Cursed Stone Idol of course, it's just one explanation of trinket that also of course going to increase the damage, because like this trinket gives you a lot of crit, so it means as well of course like Fists of Fury or Crackling Yard Lightning is critting as well. So far so good about our major cooldown spells that should be used. Yeah, and you see as well the stacks, we didn't use it for now, have still also timer here on the right side. Yeah, so it means hit combo, especially if you have a longer timer, you're not in fight, has like only 30 seconds, and transfer the power as well. Fist of Fury stacks also only have a timer of 30 seconds where those stacks are available. The only stacks that keep are the stacks of Crackling Yard Lightning. Yeah, that stacks will never vanish. They will always be here available even after 2 hours. Okay, so you can stack this up if you have like a really hard pack or so and you want to save it. Just save it for that with all your CDs. It helps a lot sometimes to just to control some packs, because you will see it makes a lot of damage. Alright, then we go on with the next thing on mplus. I will just show you fast the difference about Shadowpan single target and about Shadowpan mplus. Here you see it's kinda nothing that is going to change. It's 3 things in here and 4 things in here, so it's really not that worth to mention. Yeah, that's why I am saying it's really easy to learn Shadowpan, especially to just use single target into mplus, because it's literally the same on the game playing style. Here we just see we have now detox. Detox is one of the spells I was talking before. I normally always just use it in mplus if I need it or not. It doesn't matter. There's nothing that is that big to just use instead. Some of them are using Soothing Mists or Elusive Mists, but I'm not a fan of this one. I'm never using it. It can help you sometimes to stay alive, because it reduces all damage taken by you and your target while channeling Soothing Mist, but you have to channel it. You can make 0 instead. It's a spell that has to be used on you and your partner. It can help to survive stuff here, but I just a fan about using detox, because then you're like in Arakara where you need detox. Yeah, Arakara is one of the 8 dungeons we are playing at the moment, and you don't have it, and you will just like being fucking upset if you're on the last boss, or even on the some trash packs where you need to detox, or where your catchers can help your healer to detox, and you don't have it available. Okay, next one is energy transfer. Successful interrupt an enemy reduces the cooldown of paralyzed and roll by 5 seconds. I'm using that one. It's not recommended. You can use it. There are different ones, as I mentioned before, but this one is one of the better ones, I think. Other ones are using leg sweep, the increased yard. Like this one is also possible. It doesn't matter, I think, because leg sweep normally has a good range, so it's enough. But you can also just go like that. It's fun as well. Yeah, not that big of a deal. It's just your own, yeah, your own kind of perspective. You just like more to play. On the other side, Shadowpan and plus spec to single target. I just will show you again. This is the single target one. Those 4 spells are changing on Shadowpan into mplus. It's really important because I'll show you again, especially for some stuffs with trinkets. I will explain it here because the rest is just kind of common because of course you're using more the spinning crane kick. That's why you're just going into that roster, and something's gonna change here as well, but I will not go too deep on that one because it doesn't matter on your rotation. One of the most important things is just Xuen spawn, where you should be careful. It is going to reduce your timers on White Tiger, on Invoke Xuen, yeah, the White Tiger, for 30 seconds. That means, especially if you're using, like I am doing, Cursed on Idol has a timer on 1 minute 30. So you have to be careful if you're using it without that one, like on Shadowpan single target. You have 2 minutes CDs, and you cannot use Cursed on Idol all the time before Invoke Xuen is ready, because you should always use Invoke Xuen with Storm, Earth and Fire and your trinket to just make the most out of your damage. But that things I will just tell you now in detail. So let's go to the rotation first on single target. Single target, you're always starting, if you're just going to the boss, you're starting just with, you're going to the boss, you're using first time Tiger Palm into Rising Sun Kick into Tiger Palm. You see it here as well, the buttons that I'm using, yeah? Then I'm using my macro. My macro is including a few spells. I will also just do that macro into your into my video description. It looks a lot of things, but it's just really easy to explain. It just casts Storm, Earth and Fire with Invoke Xuen. You can always use it together. Then it's just my trinket, used Cursed on Idol here. But for some reasons it's not really, it does not work with this trinket. I don't know why exactly. But sometimes I'm going to press it and it's still not on cooldown, so I just decided to press it manually. But other trinkets work really good, yeah. So like Ara's trinket is going to work in a common way as others do as well. It's just like this trinket in any detail. I don't know why, but it's doesn't work. I think because it has a cast time about 1 second, so it's not like instantly being used. That's might be the reason why it does not work to just press. Maybe if you're going to double click it, sometimes it's going to trigger, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm just decided to press it manually on my side, but normal trinkets without cast time does work in a good way. Then Ancestral Call is just a racial of my Magar Orc to make a bit more strength, I think. It's like 7k strength or so, or second stats. But yeah, if you're not Magar, you can just use your Orc racial, I think a Troll racial for more crit. It's also viable if you don't have any racials that you can use for more damage. It is anyways. And then we're using our potions. It's first the fleeting ones that you're gaining or getting from maybe from your raid leader in your raid by the big potions that are granted. Then just those 3 use items are the same, just potions. Rank 3 into rank 2 into rank 1. Yeah, I'm just using rank 3 pots, so it's not that big of a deal. Alright, so again, I'm using Tiger Palm into Rising Sun Kick, into Tiger Palm. I'm using, here you can see Temple Potion, Storm, Earth and Fire, Invoke Xuen, into Trinkets. Then I'm using again Tiger Palm into Fists of Fury, Rising Sun Kick, Whirling Dragon Punch available. And then I'm using Spinning Crane Kick, because it's buffed, as you can see here. Then I'm using that one, and you should normally always use Tiger Palm on cooldown, yeah? Tiger Palm, second stack of Fists of Fury, Whirling Dragon Punch. Okay, now we have also Touch of Death available. And then it's normal rotation, yeah? Always use your 10 stacks of Fists of Fury. Always keep Tiger Palm. Tiger Palm is your major damage this season. Always use Tiger Palm on CD. Again, your spec. Stacks of Crackling Eye Lightning, as you have seen it. It's a cast, by the way. You have to stand still while using it. I hope you don't hear me clicking too loud. We'll check it later, but yeah, I think it should be fine. Yeah, so that's the single target rotation mostly. But you should just keep your Tiger Palms mostly on CD. I haven't done it that perfect this one. I will just show you again. But normally you're just using always Fists of Fury on cooldown. Today now I pressed a little bit too much Blackout Kick and Spinning Crane Kick, but normally it's fine. I'm just bad in talking and in streaming, I think. I will just show you now again. Just going to reset the data fast. So see you again. Fists of Fury, again on cooldown, Rising Sun Kick, Whirling Dragon Punch, and then always use just one time in between your Tiger Palm. Yeah, Tiger Palm, then 10 stacks of Fists of Fury, second Storm, Earth and Fire, Touch of Death, Whirling Dragon Kick, Punch, whatever. Some stacks in between when Tiger Palm is not ready, and then always just Tiger Palm. Tiger Palm, Rising Sun Kick, Whirling Dragon Punch, Tiger Palm, Whirling Dragon Punch. Tiger Palm, 10 stacks of Fists of Fury. Again, Tiger Palm, Rising Sun Kick. 2 stacks, 20 stacks of Crackling Eye Lightning stack. And now you see I'm making 5 million damage, much more than that it did before, because it was just not focusing that much on my spells. I was just talking too much. And before I did even use one potion, by the way. This one is without potion, so even higher on that one. Okay, alright, so you see that's a damage. Crackling Eye Lightning is still a lot of doing on damage on this one. So, okay, Touch of Death, you cannot count that one. And yeah, Blackout Kick was just pressed a bit too much on this one, but yeah, that's just mostly single target. Was not that common with single target this season, but that's just like it works normally. Just care about your stacks, as I mentioned before, and then you should be fine with it. Alright then. We are heading over to mplus. That's more of my faction for now. On mplus, it's kind of the same. That's why it's so easy. Just respect to mplus first. Here you just have to focus more on your Spinning Crane Kick, yeah? You're also getting some stacks, as you have seen before, maybe already. Yeah, you're getting stacks by your Blackout Kicks and by your Whirling Dragon. Whirling Dragon spinning crane kick, I'm sorry. This, if they are going to light up, yeah, like they're doing, give me a second, let's see. Like now, they're lightning, yeah? You see it here for 12 seconds. That means that your next spinning crane kick is doing more damage, yeah? And you see it also here on the numbers. So always keep those stacks low. That means in between your normal rotation, just keep track about them. Here you see, and looks just weaker or set. Here you got now 2 stacks of that one. It means you're using it one time on the stack. It's still available. Now it was just vanishing. Here again, 1 stack, 2 stacks, again, no stacks. You see, now it's lightning, spinning crane kick lightning. So you should always keep care about those tracks of your spells that are just doing more damage as well, okay? Keep it simple. I can go deeper on that one, but I will just keep it simple. They make just more damage, that's all you need to know if you press them and they are lightning. So that just you should not overcap them, because otherwise you're losing some stacks of your abilities that make more damage. Okay, so now I will just use cracking lightning stacks fast to just make it more natural on damage meters that I will show you now. For the next one, into Rising Sun Kick or just Tiger Palm into Spinning Crane Kick. Yeah, that does not matter that much. I'm mostly just using Tiger Palm into Spinning Crane Kick because normally you're starting with more targets and then I'm just driving my normal rotation. Okay, so let me see if the potion is available. Yep, it should be available if I'm not wrong. So let me show you the rotation here. We're using Tiger Palm into Whirling Dragon Punch. We're using Storm, Earth and Fire, Invoke Xuen into my trinket. Then we're using Fists of Fury. Then we're using Rising Sun Kick into Whirling Dragon Punch. Again, always Fists of Fury, always on cooldown. 10 stacks of Fists of Fury, Tiger Palm, Whirling Dragon Punch. We're using our buffs, always Whirling Dragon Punch, 10 stacks of Fists of Fury, into Whirling Dragon Punch, into Blackout Kick, because it is buffed, 10 stacks of Crackling Arty Lightning, again Whirling Dragon Punch, because it's on CD. We're going to stack up our Fists of Fury, again Fists of Fury, into Tiger Palm, Whirling Dragon Punch, Blackout Kick, again Whirling Dragon Punch into Blackout Kick, and so on. Yeah. Alright, so you see around 16 to 18 million, depends a bit how much or how high I'm going to crit up. But you see here, Spinning Crane Kick is doing a lot of damage in this one. You should definitely keep track about it, especially in big AoE situations, to always use Spinning Crane Kick when available. In between, by the way, on Spinning Crane Kick you can use other spells. It means if you're using Spinning Crane Kick, you see the cast line in here. It has been changed sometimes before, but now it's available again that you can use other casts while Spinning Crane Kick is being used. It means Spinning Crane Kick into Blackout Kick is possible at the same time. Yeah, look again, Spinning Crane Kick, Blackout Kick is being casted while Spinning Crane Kick is activated. Yeah, so you can always just use that one and directly click another spell while you're using Spinning Crane Kick. It does just not work with Fists of Fury and does not work with your Crackling Arty Lightning. That's the only 2 things where it definitely does not work. Yeah, because those 2 spells have to be casted. Yeah, but everything else is going to work. Even Whirling Dragon Punch, you can see it now. I'm going to show you. Both on CD. Going to use that one here. You ever seen it? Easy. Kinda easy. show you again. Keep both on cooldown. When Dragon Punch is getting ready. No. Ah, no, I forgot to press spinning crane kick. Okay, anyways, you have seen what I was talking about. Just use other spells while using spinning crane kick, okay? So you just granting more damage spells without losing any uptime. But that's really important as well. Okay, I hope it was understandable on the rotations. It's not that easy to explain sometimes, especially if you are someone who's just used to your damage spells. I just can show you also on the meters where or what's important about that one. But first, before we talk about that, I will just show you something about the consumables. Because sometimes you may not know what should I use on consumables, which flasks, potions, etc. I made a sheet for you that I'm gonna show you. So that's just the major stuff you need to watch about, yeah? So the best enchants on a weapon normally, or mostly Stormbound Artistry. I don't know even what I'm using, just let me check first. I'm using that, I know, I'm using Oathsworn Tenacity. Okay, cool. Yeah, it always depends a bit on those enchants, like especially on weapons, okay? The rest is kinda clear, but weapon can valid a bit on your gear as well that you're wearing, yeah? I recommend using Simulation Craft to make sure to use the right one for you. Okay, but the common ones that you can use always is Chant of Winged Grace on your cloak, chest, on your bracers, on your legs, on your boots as well. Yeah, those are always the same. Rings can also vary a bit on your stats that you're using. Yeah, I'm for now just to show you. I will just click away my buff. Give me a second. So. I'm using for now critical strike on 90%, means 4.7k, haste on 17.6, mastery is by me on 21, and versus on 13,000. Yeah, especially for mplus. Yeah, this is specially generated for mplus for me now, because I'm just playing mplus mostly. Just waiting on Mythic Progress nearby as well. Okay, so just get back to the sheet. Just let me show you what else you're going to use. On the flasks, combat potions, health potions, etc. That's all you can just use directly, yeah, on this one. Flasks, always a chemical carriers, temple potions, clear, rank 3, invigoration, healing potions, Algarian mana oil. Yeah, really, because it says mana oil, but it just is your onlyest weapon buff that you can use. It makes sense. Your augment rune, there's a new one by the way here on the Castle Gar one. It costs 100k if you have your reputation, I think, on 17 or 18. Yeah, on the Karesh Trust. Food is sushi special, or I'm just using Paladin's Bounty because it's cheaper. So I'm just using that one. I'll show you in game. It's that one here, yeah. Hearty Baldur's Bounty. Hearty means it stands through death, so it will not go away if you die. You need a few cooking skills, but that's being done by around 15 minutes or so to make it hearty. So it's not that big of a deal to make that happen. Yeah, just make sure to watch a guide and to make it. It's really helpful, especially in M+. And quick onyx and the culminating Mastermind diamond. We're going to play it normally. That's the special socket that you're using for your for your ring or for your neck, whatever where you're going to place it, it doesn't matter. Other gems, quick onyx is here mentioned, but I just think it really varies. Yeah, it can be quick onyx, but it can be also something else. Yeah, it really depends on your stuff that you are using, on your gear score and on your gear stuff that you are wearing at the moment, on your kind of on your different stats that you may have here. So things like weapon enchant, like I'm using Oathsworn Tenacity, or your enchants, your sockets do really vary a bit. Just make sure if you're using the primary stat one with the critical effect here, that it means that you have to use unique Algari gem colors. Yeah, that means you're using, like here, one blue, you're using here one red or so, using here one blue, using here one green, here one purple, to have all colors for the most effect of your unique Algari gem color. Okay? Alright then. About the macros, I already told you which macro I'm using. I'm just using that one. Others are using a macro I've seen where you do not interrupt your Cracking Eye Lightning cast or your Fists of Fury. You can use that one as well. I'm not a fan of it, but it really depends on your own game playing style. I just recommend that macro for your cooldowns because it's more than fine, it's enough, and it helps you to just get the most out of your character. Last but not least, some things. How could I improve myself, especially on the damage meters that I can see, which spans overall, by the way, on every character, not only Windwalkers, where I can see which spells are major for my damage. So here you see another Kara 19 key played by a Windwalker. You see here Stormers and Fire, just your normal big CD. Then Flurry Strikes is just the buffs that you are using this season. By Flurry Strikes means, I show you in game what that means. It's just your Flurry Strikes that makes normal damage on your talents. Yeah, it means every 1.1 million damage you deal generates a flurry charge for each 240 energy you spend. That means just spend your energy mostly and it deals damage. Yeah, that's also why you're always using Tiger Palm on cooldown with your Forset. Okay, Forset means that your Flurry Strikes on 2 set deals more damage, and activating Storm, Earth and Fire instantly grants 10 stacks of Flurry Strikes a trigger on your next attack at 70% effectiveness. Yeah, and Flurry Charge rating is increased by 50%, and Flurry Strikes triggers every 120 energy spent during Storm, Earth and Fire. That's why we're spending a lot of Tiger Palm, just to make sure to use as much as possible and generating chi to just spend it. Okay, so back to the side. Here, spinning crane kick on the keys, collecting lightning stacks, slicing winds. Yeah, he's playing also with slicing winds. Most of the people do not use it. I can show you a statistic now. I was talking before about that one. So you just here, by the way, if you wanted to do it by yourself, you just go to Warcraftlogs, so go to dungeons, then you just click here in a dungeon you want to see, like I can just use Priory now, here, Priory, go to all classes, go to monks, go to Windwalkers, and then you see Shadowpawn being used on 100%, 50% are using also this talents back here with Slicing Winds. I do recommend not using it, I'm not a fan of it, I just like more to use a common one with dual threat, transfer the power and fury of Xuen, or especially Xuen spawn because of my trinket with 1.30 minutes. So you also see here different players that are being using those talents, and if you want to see a log on specific, just click here on source on the logs, yeah, like here on Eradas. Then you just click here on the character and you go to summary, and then you just can see his talent. You can also just export that one, by the way. And if you go to damage done, you see his spells that he is using as major damage spells. Just to help to understand which one of those spells is doing the most damage. Okay. The same you can do on raids as well. Here on raids, just go to a boss that you want to see. If you want to go for full single target and you want to see which spells are good, you should pick a boss that is mostly full single target. Like, give me a second. We do not have that many single target bosses this season, to be fair, but Fractalus is one. It's just a little bit off because you have to move a lot around on this one. Not like a patchwork fight, but it's still something like that. And here you can see exactly what I was showing you before with the talents that are going to change, like Xuen's Bond, like Yard Ignition, Energy Burst, Xuen's Battle Key is sometimes being played as well. So those spells are not active on the single target rotation. And here as well, if you want to see, like you can just watch your trinkets that you have, maybe just to make sure that maybe your summary and your stats are maybe like the same one, or just do combine it to just stay like the stats being used with the trinkets they're using, because trinkets can make your gear vary a lot, especially like crit trinkets, for example. And then you see here the damage done. Yeah, on Chinese. Congratulations. Let's go to English. Okay, it still doesn't let me do it. Okay, interesting. Yeah, okay, you see just here, Flurry Strikes do a lot of damage this season. Then just Fists of Fury, then Blackout Kick with Rising Sun Kick, kinda the same damage. Then Crackling Lightning Stacks, and nearly 0 damage on Whirling Dragon Punch would be using normally. Yeah, so. And here you see as well the casts, yeah? How often did he cast the spells? You see as well Tiger Palm being used like each time in between. So that's what I was talking before. Always if Tiger Palm is active, use Tiger Palm. With just be sure to not lose your 5% buff we were talking before with the hit combo. Okay? Alright. I think I hopefully showed you everything. On this one, I'm going to say thank you for watching this video. I hope I made some things clear. If you have more questions about some specific things, just yeah, go down in the comments below and ask some questions. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you in the next video, guys, and goodbye.